Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Grayson, this is Tech With Me, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro. It's Razer's newest mouse in their lineup, or at least it was at the time of scripting this. The Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro is an ultra lightweight gaming mouse, and when I say lightweight, I mean it. It comes in at only 64 grams, which is honestly a great weight for a gaming mouse. I usually main a finalmouse Starlight Achilles, which I actually just did a video on. You can check that out, I'll have it linked down below. It'll also be recommended at the end of this video. Now, the finalmouse weighs in closer to 42 grams, but honestly when using this DeathAdder, I could hardly tell the difference. Maybe it's just the way the weight is distributed, or maybe I'm just crazy, but it honestly felt about the same as my daily driver. Now, the DeathAdder is an ergonomic gaming mouse, which means it is modeled and shaped in a way that's supposed to be really comfortable for your hand to hold, and I find it easier to grip as well. Sometimes with the extra lightweight gaming mice, they tend to have a tendency to slip and slide out your hand when moving around the mouse pad or whatever it is you might be doing. And I think it goes without saying, but that can definitely be detrimental, especially when you're playing a competitive game. And even if you're not, I can only imagine how annoying it would get when you're editing a video or maybe a photo and your mouse is just slipping and sliding out of your hands all over the place. Or maybe even you're still gaming and just not playing competitively, but even then it would be annoying for your mouse to just slip and slide out of your palms. Luckily this was a non-issue with the DeathAdder V3 Pro. It set in my hands nicely, always felt great, and I never had any issue getting a grip on it. The mouse itself is kind of tacky or grippy. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not perfectly smooth, which is great because that acts as a grip to help you keep your hands on it. That was a problem I had with my similar G Pro X Superlight. I ended up returning that mouse because I did like the shape and I did like the look of it, but I just couldn't keep a hold of it. It was too light and there was no way to grip it. Now, the G Pro X Superlight did come with extra grips that you could stick on there, but I just felt like it killed the look of the mouse to do that. The DeathAdder itself is a classic when it comes to PC gaming, and some, me included, would argue that it's a staple gaming mouse in the PC gaming community. As a matter of fact, my very first gaming mouse ever was a DeathAdder. This was back when Overwatch first came out and I was a sweat. I wanted to get better and I thought having an actual gaming mouse rather than my wireless cheapo Logitech mouse would improve my gameplay. Well, it didn't. I still sucked at Overwatch, and honestly, I still do. That being said, the DeathAdder is well known for a reason. It's a great gaming mouse. It always has been, and hopefully it always will be. This new DeathAdder V3 Pro is no exception. The ergonomic shape is easy to hold, it's super comfortable to use for extended periods of time, and I don't think this will hold you back from anything you want to do with it. It has two programmable buttons on the side that you can program to do whatever you want to help you out in your gameplay. Personally, I like to use the first button as a melee button, and I know it's kind of awkward, but I usually like to use the second as a push to talk in games where I need it. But that's just me. That's what I love about PC peripherals. They have programmable options and just something that'll work for anybody, whether you're gaming or not. You can always find a use for them. Having the ability to program something to one of these hotkeys, whether it's for gaming, photo editing, or video editing, is just a super nice feature to have. Now, 2 buttons isn't much compared to a lot of gaming mice, but honestly I think it's perfect for me. I don't think that I could ever use one of those MMO gaming mice because I would not be able to keep up with any of the 10,000 different inputs it has. I would miskey and mistype and I would never hit what I was trying to do, so I think 2 is perfectly reasonable. Now, there was a button that I felt the V3 Pro was missing. Well, not exactly missing, but its placement was odd. The newest DeathAdder hides the DPI button at the bottom of the mouse, unlike a lot of newer gaming mice where they put the DPI button right on top. Now, it does come pre-programmed with 5 DPI settings, but you can take away from this or add to it and change those DPI settings to whatever you want. Now, I'm not really the type to change my DPI settings a whole lot. I usually just leave it at whatever the default is. but if you do need to change it or need to change it on the go, it just seems like putting the DPI button on the bottom is a really weird solution. Because if you do need to switch your DPI, whether you're switching from gaming to productivity or vice versa, it's just very hard to get to. You have to lift the mouse, press the bottom, put it back down. That being said, it does look nice. There's not an extra button that doesn't necessarily need to be there, messing with the aesthetics. I don't think the DPI button being on the bottom is a deal breaker for this mouse, but it is something I wanted to put in there because it is something that might matter to some people. Another thing that's not necessarily a deal breaker, but I did wish this included that some other Razer mice that I've loved had, was the charging dock. Now, maybe they will release an Ultimate Edition soon that will come with one of these, but who knows? Now, I understand that the wireless charging stuff adds weight to the mice, and that's probably why they didn't put it in. I do think it would be cool to have an option with that because I personally love the dock and I would be okay giving up a little bit of weight just to have something to set it on and make sure it's charged whenever I need it to be. When it comes to charging, it does charge via USB-C, which is awesome. I know USB-C is becoming more and more common on things nowadays, but so often I open a new gaming mouse and they still charge with micro USB, which is just mind-blowing to me. So anything that includes USB-C is pushing us forward, and I'm super stoked to see that. On top of that, the battery life on this thing has been great. I have had it probably a month now, and I don't think that I've had to charge it even a single time compared to my Razer Basilisk, which I had to charge every 3 days. So honestly, it may not have the charging dock, but maybe that's a good thing because they were able to fit a bigger battery in this, and it's fantastic. Now, this mouse does come in Razer's classic black, but I got it in this super clean white color, and I honestly really love it. But there are both choices, so there's an option for everyone. Overall, I'm impressed. I really like this mouse. Now, maybe I'm just biased. As a self-proclaimed Razer shill, I tend to like anything I try from them. But that being said, I really have very few complaints about this other than the DPI button and there not being a version with the charging dock. It's a great mouse. It's super light, it performs well, it seems really accurate. I've had literally 0 issues with this thing. So what do you guys think about the Razer DeathAdder V3 Pro? Are you guys a fan, or are you gonna stick with your G Pro X Superlight? And if you're not a fan of this mouse, or the other one I just mentioned, what mouse do you use? Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation about it. Thank you guys very kindly for watching. My name is Grayson, and this is Tech with Me.